XRP, XLM, XCN, XYO, Compound, and Tornado Cash. Let's talk about these cryptos. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name is Neil. We keep technical analysis short and sweet. We're looking at Bitcoin, always has confirmation, getting a nice consolidation. However, it does look like it's getting a little bit lower in price. And when we see that it may potentially break below that trend line, we could expect a retracement down to around 113. Before immediate support, pushing it right back up and beyond, judging by what is previously happened in the market, where we have that nice little drop and then a consolidation phase, then a push up. So with that in mind, I also want to bring into your view the weekly on Bitcoin does not look nearly as bad as is getting the indecision. So we saw indecision here when we were breaking over 108, and immediately after that we had a major pump. Here we're getting a little bit of indecision and also high volume. And in RSI, it is at a overbought area, but all we really need to do is see that push up and out of the RSI as well as the volume, and we could see this get a pretty nice pump upwards, bringing the rest of the market up with it. Starting with Tornado Cash, we'll run through these real quick. Tornado Cash filling out a cup and handle pattern like a majority of the other ones like XCN, and getting very nice support structure. Imagine this is water getting pushed into a pipe and it's getting a bunch of pressure. The 200 EMA is causing more pressure, pushing this upwards, as we see that whenever it had that push with the 200 EMA back here in November of 2024, had a major pump up all the way to $36 from $2. So here we are at 10. We can imagine we're at least going back up to 32. And then once we get beyond the 32, I believe its all-time high is up over $450. So $10 for potential $450. The risk to reward ratio is there. We can expect to push a minimum up to 26.25 if Bitcoin decides to push upwards. Compound also getting more bullish, getting a lot of support from this upward black trend line, creating a new upward black trend line as support. We have creeped over the 200 EMA here, which we have seen in the previous video that I posted about XTZ and a bunch of others. Once they creep up over that 200 EMA and close, we can expect to push minimum up to $60.64. However, there's very little resistance beyond that. If we can hold above that $62 roughly, we can expect a further push up at least to 89 or even $100 being the Fibonacci 618 retracement. So from current, if you were to enter now, not financial advice, that is around a 93% increase. If you miss the XTZ pump, that was around 83%. This is a very, very good opportunity. Also keeping in mind volume is picking up exponentially. We are not in the completely overbought area, and we see that whenever we did get overbought, we had a very nice push up towards that $60 mark, where we actually scalped from around $47 to $60 before it had that retracement. So now you have that opportunity to re-enter and get that nice push up at least to 60.83 and potential 99 to 100. So definitely not financial advice, but buying more compound is not a bad idea. Looking at XYO without its clutter, looking phenomenal, doing the same thing as XTZ and compound, where it's pushing nice and easy, trying to push over that 200 EMA, and when we can close above that 200 EMA, we can expect a major pump for XYO. As we've seen right here, crossed over that 200 EMA, retraced underneath it a little bit, but then got the pressure and pushed it upwards. And that little pump from, say, the 200 EMA up was around 90% increase with some consolidation for about 2 weeks before having a pump of nearly 651%. We can be expecting a similar pump when we hold above this 200 EMA, as the all-time high is all the way up here. around 8 cents. I believe it is actually higher than that, but XYO does have a very long way to go. If we were to enter from right now, say you enter right at that 200 EMA to this high is around 608% increase, and usually when we hit the highs, it's price of discovery, and we go even further than that. So XYO is not a bad bet to 10x your money. Looking at XCN, one of everybody's favorites, looking phenomenal. Also cup and handle pattern filling out. When it gets to the end of this pattern, we usually see another major push up to give it a little bit more time to ride sideways in consolidation before pushing up to the high. And then once it breaks that high, all hell will break loose. Just to get back up to the high is only 200%, and to around this area around 28 cents, I believe that is going to be around a 52% increase, but there's no real resistance to not gain that 200% with the next push up. The 618, I believe, is right around here, around the 50% increase. XYO all-time high is around 18 cents. It is looking beautiful for the setup. Just a phenomenal coin to enter into. Keep in mind what Bitcoin is going to do, but it is getting very strong support off this 200 EMA. A lot of pressure. Volume is picking up. And when we've seen that happen in the past, when volume was picking up, back here, I saw the coin enter. I saw 2 green candles. I said, this is probably a good entry. You can't see it right here, but when you zoom in, right where I had my entry, 2 green candles, boom, pushed up, and then again, and then broke over that 200 EMA, got rejected, broke over that 200 EMA once more, and then we saw all hell break loose and 2,000% increase. Phenomenal trades back in 2024. Here we are in 2025 for your second opportunity. Now we are holding that 200 EMA as support and getting a lot more pressure with Onyxcoin or XCN. Definitely a good bet to enter. Cup and handle, again, forming out. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but just do not miss out on XCN. Not financial advice. Moving over to XLM, in cahoots with XRP, doing a similar structure where we're getting real tight. We're holding a little bit more support on this upward trend line, and this downward trend line is not very well positioned. But if we zoom in, we can grab this trend line, and it had this high right here, so it's more looking like this. We could see a range within this area, and then once we get over this high around 52 cents, we can see another push up. However, keeping in mind the Fibonacci retracement is all the way back down at 35 cents. So we could have a retracement, but it's doubtable. Depending on if Bitcoin starts to push up and XRP, we will see this start to take off as well from its current price point. Just keep an eye out on XLM. And lastly, XRP, also a fan favorite. We had that NC hammer take off once we broke that downward trend line, and we pushed up all the way over here around 3.4 cents. It's a major support to be holding. This is price discovery. We will see what the price can actually be for XRP on this next leg up. I said it before, I'll say it again, stack your bag before it's too late. You can always sell anywhere from here to $12, $25 or beyond. So keep a bag of XRP. Don't be afraid to sell it when you're in profit, as we will most likely see some retracements through 2026. And just keeping all that in mind, we are in a very good position holding a support above this 3-4 cents, and a very, very long way to go to find the actual price discovery for XRP. That's it for this video. I hope you guys learn, see the techniques, create your own. Like and subscribe if you want. All references for MEXC to trade Tornado Cash, Coinbase where they're doing airdrop money, Grass Token airdrop money, KuCoin, roller coin, all that good stuff in the description below. And good luck. Have fun with it.